The WHO calls the issue rampant.
But sometimes he would take his fingers and put it in my private bag.
My foster mother's son sexually abused me at 9.
When I drank the water he gave me, I became lost and helpless. He did what he wanted.
He had sex with me and took my virginity. And then one thing led to another. He raped me.
And so now we start to break the silence. We begin to tell our stories as slow and as painful and as anonymous as they are.
Domoro kadiate
boy janno sikes restaurant
e sai nakko be ninna dimbal nimba domoro kala janno
domoro seneyata adiyata topotoro fanan kendema bije luntan during tamala abeka domoro ki janni adi manda wala de teka we bijele anim fanan ka fadi jang ikono e fa e ka fa minne ko pastry anim bakery iko fanan be kalele badde lomba conference lomba workshop lomba ye fofe ndil lon dunia kono domoro betama nyillom international to wada number 1
amanke ba domola jandama
e sa domo jang is atariya
wo mu kubandi sa nakko sa futandi e oto sa nakko be mu CK's restaurant
ndafa nan janna mu yat ni manje dorom bijam
aban
CK's restaurant known for best quality food and customer satisfaction.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities.
So can you kindly bring in the witness?
I, Haruna Gassama.
Nte Haruna Gassama.
Nte Haruna Gassama.
Do swear that.
Mbenkalila ko.
I'll speak the truth.
Mbetonyale fola.
The whole truth.
Tonya be.
And nothing but the truth.
Ndinde fen fola jam min manke tonyati.
So help me God.
Woto alama ale ndema.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness.
Tinyang Sedo.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Bismillah TRRC jam.
As you already know,
Na yalo nyame.
my name is Mariama Singate.
Ndatomu Mariama Singate leti.
And I will be leading you on behalf of the Commission this afternoon.
Ndale tambile nyati lingola jang commission ko toyara nyintili bulanna.
As you are already aware,
Kono ya kala muda nyame.
there is interpretation going on.
Kanna soro be keri ne sainte mbensi yomendo.
So I request that you speak slowly so that the interpreters will get all the words that you say. If at any point you do not understand my corrections, do let me know and I will explain it better for you. For this afternoon, we're going to discuss your background information so that the Commission will get to know who you are. We'll deal with your arrest and detention. That is with respect to the charge of giving false information. We'll deal with your detention and court case. And your rearrest and detention at Janjambure. We'll also discuss the impact of your detention on you and your family. At the end of my questioning, the commissioners will also ask you a few questions. And then you'll be given the opportunity to address the nation. I hope you understand.
Yes, I understand.
Can you kindly tell the commission your name?
Yes.
Haruna Gassama.
My name is Haruna Gassama.
When and where were you born?
CRR Daslami, 1974.
I was born in CRR Daslami in 1974.
I have on the statement that you submitted, you were born on the 22nd of February in 1980. Is that a mistake?
kuma kama fele mbuli jamani kwa safari ngole mindi ko February karo tilmuang ani fula mwani nani 1980 fo wala mba
wo ngan ID card ngan na wulu sawne taraje pour ID card.
I reduced my age so that I can acquire an ID card.
So it's your proper age that you're giving before the commission right now?
Yes.
You also attended Brikama Primary School in 1989, correct?
Brikama Primary School for 1989.
And thereafter you did not pursue your education?
Yes.
You are currently the president of the Jahali Pacha Rice Field Project.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us about this Jahali Pacha Rice Field Project?
No. Jahal Pachari.
Yes. It's the place where we farm. We do our farming.
The CRRD Lower Fladu.
In CRRD, in the Lower Fladu district.
Na Jahal Pachari Senelal Sota Jamiliar Noko, during 1983, ye Faro Sai Farmer Solma.
Since in 1983, there are farmers who were sold plots in the Jahali Pachari rice fields.
Found a committee of Tombong.
They themselves select their committee members. And they always lead the farmers there.
Committee Tombong.
So the selection of that committee, we always have a time for it.
Committee we got president another vice president another committee kasi tamo ke sangi saba kilim fula no theatre kajira dole tombo.
The committees who are selected, they always spend 2 to 3 years afterwards. They will go out and new members will be selected.
Can you tell the commission when you became the president of the Jahali Pacha Rice Field Project?
Sidang voisa fono commission wa ita fon kunningo sanjumala inara na kenyaton ko member president Jahali Pacha lain samalal samani dola lain kafot.
Sa samfono.
Yes, I can name the year.
Afanye?
They keda president on the 5th January 2012.
I became the president there on the 5th of January 2012.
When you were nominated as president of the Jahali Pacha Rice Field Project in 2012, did you assume your responsibilities then?
Bring ye tombong keke Jahali Pacha lain samalal mani samalal lain pers nyaron kodi. Fo inare nila doko ni inare na damu talaba.
Madam Utumora. I was unable to start the leadership role at that time.
When did you assume the leadership role?
Mbeda jumala minara na ila doko nyinka damuda.
Narana doko damuda 2017.
I started the leadership role there in 2017.
Can you tell us why you could not assume the leadership role even after you were appointed as the president of the Jahali Pacha Rice Field Project?
Sinang isa fono nye dalila jumale ya sabu biriye tombongo usangol be ite mela do ko nyi imata ima damu tano ka president mu president ma ku do ko nyi damu tano for 2017 muna sababu dawala
o fitno dia mo kata ko kon wala kata sababoti.
There was a dispute which caused the delay of the starting of my leadership role.
Tell us about the dispute, please.
Na President Koto Muntarta Nunji Kafaya Alai Musa Jimbo Tarawale.
Our former president, who was there before me, called Alaji Musa Jimbo Trawale.
Walebe sirina siraun kanje farmasol toyaraji asiara sangi saiti imang ejemo kumande nise dante sendalu.
They were leading the farmers group there more than 8 years, and they refused to call for an AGM.
donc sa wosan nyantale ejemo kumanike idante senlali ngayine soro ngine mansoro sa hamme ko kasha jarimbe wulla nyame senola.
And every year there should be an AGM whereby the farmers will meet and discuss about our challenges and the way forward, so that the oncoming year we will prepare for that oncoming year what to do and what not to do. When we told him that information,
President
then the president said he cannot reply to us unless the auditors come and audit him.
Yo, we all
met at our director's place at Sapo. We called them also to come there, so that we can discuss about the auditors. They themselves stated that they will now look into the matter so that they can call on the auditors to come and do the auditing.
Can you tell us what was the outcome of that audit that was done?
Isa fono nye wo auditing nying oyiri karo nyo kusonsuro nyo menketa fo mune na kala muluoti ay mune fintindi
beri auditing keta apareta na data ko ibo itale.
After the auditing, we discovered that there was a big loss. Then we called for a bigger meeting at Madinam Fali. That's where we meet as the SECO of the Jahali Pachari Farmers Group.
Ngamol kumandi je deta birum gofono nata ako jandete le molto siara nyokan say ngabay ngake on the 50 January 2012.
When we met there, the director said, okay, this place is too tight for the meeting. Now we can do it on the 5th of January 2012.
Yeah. Which director are you referring to?
The director Jumal Lakmofokang
and the governor Ganyiture.
Sorry, the governor
Ganyiture. Commandant.
Ganyiture.
Go on.
And then
so narna onyo loko narna mitonke na middle school.
The following week we decided to call for a meeting at our middle school.
Yo na tunto bebenta.
The whole district came and met.
Yo nata meeting ke.
We had this meeting.
Audit report karantaje.
The audit report was read out there.
The acting director Chorna E Jallo.
The acting director
Chorna E Mbalo.
The acting director Chorna E Mbalo.
Yo anala Timo.
And his team.
The audit report karanje.
He himself read out the audit report.
Yo audit report mo itande ko ni sanjo mbeta mbeta tinyaro drone kala jahal pachar.
The audit report showed that all these past years there has been a big loss at the Jahali Pachari.
Can you tell us Cherno Mbalo where he worked as acting director?
Cherno Mbalo for isa fono nya atarta nundu kola mintole kake daro jubir lal korosir ladik wala acting director ti utembola
atam agri business Cape Point Bakau.
He was the head of the agribusiness unit at Cape Point in Bakau.
So what happened when they discovered that there were losses throughout the years that the Jahali Pacha project was under the previous regime?
Sai mna na ke biri ina na kalamuta ko fo bale sketa Maroko menketa president Kotola wato de fo bale keta je mna na ke
donc c'est là bi ma be benta je woni ko sai ngani jindi ngakuta mal tombo.
Because most of the farmers attended that meeting and now they agreed that now let's try to select a new committee and relieve the former committee of their duties.
Ko bismillah.
And this was agreed on.
So
then we agreed to pick 2 people from each village. We left the hall and went to a classroom. They said we should select the president there and his followers. When we went into that classroom,
the
farmers were not the only people who were present.
Regional director of agriculture.
Because our regional director of agriculture himself was at that meeting.
Usman
Jame. He was at the meeting.
And then NIA
some NIA officers were also at the meeting.
Lady councilor
our lady councillors were also there.
Chairman of
our chairman was also there.
Superintendent Manjiki Sen.
Our superintendent was also there. All these people attended that meeting. They said, let's select a president.
The
man who is presently the Alcalo of Kerawan Sambasira, Hamadu Sedi, said, I am selecting this man to be the president of the group. They raised up my hand and I got up and stood. They said, who is going to compete with Haruna Gassama? Because the place was filled up. But nobody else raised his or her hand. They said, no oppose.
Were the old executives present at that meeting?
Alpha Kafukoto Ning, for the Mabere no meeting on Yintolaba, President Koto Naramur. President Koto Namoro, at the President Koto Mama Bala, Alamul found a meeting.
The former president didn't attend, but all other members of his group were at the meeting.
What was the role of the NIA at that meeting?
NIA, it meeting.
At that meeting, I think they were there to observe and carry out the security.
And you were selected unopposed as president of the Jahali Pacha Rice Field Project, correct?
Monda inare ni de tombong iketa mode me yalongo momalo ife ka ke president de walam Jahali Pacha project ko nyina kafo nyindo.
Yes.
Did they select other executives as well?
Inare na kafo nyaton ka dol fanan tombonde bang ita kola.
Yes.
Can you tell us how many in total did they select?
Isa fono nye itu ulketa mo jelleldi. Ulketa ye mo saba.
There were 3 people.
The vice president tombonde.
Vice president was selected.
Mo fula ulta.
There are 2 other people who got up.
Do kanyeta.
One of them won.
The secretary fanang mo ulta.
For the position of secretary, some other people also got up. And somebody else won also that position.
Then cashier
was the cashier. Somebody also won the position of the cashier. They said now we should go and meet the people of the district. Then we went out to meet these people. When we went out and this was revealed to the people,
Haruna Gassama rice farmers la president of Jahali Pachari karon ngatombonde mo malwafe.
And this information was announced that Haruna Gassama has been selected as the president of the Jahali Pachari Rice Farmers Association because he was not opposed when we called him.
Then
the whole group followed me and conveyed me up to my home. The following day, the director and the auditors called me and told me to meet them at supper. So that the old committee will go and hand over to the new committee. So the following morning, I went to supper.
Yo je na director in committee kotolo ay call the president na molo be la mobile fa mo mobile chika.
So the director called members of the old committee and told them to switch off their mobiles. So none of them received their calls that were sent to them.
Sorry, that's a wrong interpretation. He said the director called and all of them switched off their phones.
Director le command atra la telephone be faring. Yes, sorry. The director found out that all of them switched off their phones.
But
all the auditors were present.
For 12.
We were there till midday 12. None of them came to the meeting. They said, okay, let's disperse. Then we will look another way, the way forward. I said, okay. Then I told my people, let's look another way forward. We have no powers. We are all under the Agri department. Because there is a permanent secretary. We can approach him and explain the matter to him.
Who was the permanent secretary during this time?
The man is called Sanadahaba.
When you approached the permanent secretary with respect to this issue, did he do anything about it?
Yes, he did something.
Tell us what he did.
When we went to his office and explained everything to him, he said, okay, I will come there. So the day that the permanent secretary was supposed to come, he found me sitting in front of my shop on the main road. He came with our regional director, Usman Jamme.
Solicitor General Pahari Jamme.
That day, Solicitor General Pahari Jamme was also on board that vehicle. They all came together. But that man didn't say anything. But the permanent secretary told me that. He told me that what I want is that this week coming on Monday we meet at the governor's place so that this handing over can take place. After that, then I informed all my people, and on that day we all met at the governor's place in Makati. So the members of the new committee and members of the old committee, we all met at Makati. Permanent Secretary Sanadahaba came there too that day. Our director also attended, Usman Jame. The governor also was there, Alaji Ganyi Ture. Our chief also attended, Mamadou Lamin Balde. Our member of parliament also came there, Yorombalo.
Can you tell us the outcome of that meeting at the governor's office?
Permanent secretary ko committee
Then when the permanent secretary said that the old committee should hand over everything to the new committee. When he said that, people talked. Then the governor told him that. What is your decision that you came with at the, to attend this meeting? He said that the decision is that members of the old committee should hand over everything to the new committee.
Did the old executive committee members agree to hand over to you?
For committee kotoning, isontala bampurka kwa beta kakafunya makamurundi kadite nila committee kotoning naba.
Alpha bebe sirinje de volum yoli founder ekwe bang ekwe takela.
All this, in the presence of all these senior officers I named were present, and the old committee said they refused and they will not do that.
Why did they refuse to hand over the mantle of leadership to you?
There is no reason
that I can name. They themselves know why.
Sorry, he said Ibasendarin Dalilomin.
Yes, that means they themselves know the reason why they refuse to hand over.
Is it not like leaning on something? It's more like
When you say the Sembering men, okay, he said they don't know what they are leaning on.
Thank you. What do you mean by what they were leaning on?
Iko be Sembering fennela. Ila okoto amumuneti.
Ngaje ko bankola kantiolu bankola alfal besirin. Ita senela kenzo mo konte wol koy ko fewndi toñatio le fewndi mo lan ko aydi mo le ko bang.
I have seen that senior officers of the nation were present, and you are ordered to hand over to the new executive, and you said no, you refuse.
And did the senior members do anything to make them hand over to you?
Bankola alfal member maberinje fo narna katakul fere ban kaje ko nyin kafu koto nyin wole fero beke kaje ko ite yele fo bisembo nyin beta kata ka ditela fo le katakul fere la ba wole na manke kado itali balanta le kube kumol fo mulian la ko manyinya alfal besir.
They refused, and in fact they uttered some words which were very bad words, so they refused like that.
When this negotiation failed, what did you do?
Bring kacha amanna bula kanto. Alnara namuneke. Ndara mol kumandi.
Then I called the people.
Alfal kumandi banko kang.
I called the elders of the district. I
told
them the way things are going is a little bit scary. I said, I want us to look for another way. The people that we have hope on, if they refuse in the hands of those people too, then there is no other way we can do. We have to look for another new way again. I told them now what we are going to do. I told them now let's go to the law, because I believe that when we reach the law, those people will not be biased. They will just follow what is straight. Then the elders decided to contribute the fare for us, and we left and came down to Combo.
Before deciding to take the matter to the law, did you take the matter anywhere else?
Well, before that, there is no ministry in this country where I didn't go. No, there is not that ministry.
I'm looking at your statement right now. In paragraph 15 of your statement, you mentioned that you approached Commissioner Wajuara. Can you tell us about that?
Commissioner Wajuara.
He was the then governor at Mansakonko. I called my committee members into a house. I called Wajuara on telephone, and I explained the matter to him. I told him that these people are still adamant. They refuse to hand over to us. I even informed the commissioner, but they are still refusing. Wajuara told me to write a letter and bring it to him. That was on a Saturday. He told me even tomorrow, Sunday, to write this letter and bring it to me. I wrote this letter and I came with it to Wajuara at Mansakonko. When I arrived there, they told me he has just left for Kombo, he has gone to Brikama. I followed him all the way to his home. At night, I found his door locked because he had already gone to bed. I went to spend the night at Kombo Jabang.
Did you eventually hand over the letter to Wajuara?
Yes, early in the morning I came to his home and I found him there. I waited for him until he woke up and I handed over the letter to him.
Who was the letter addressed to?
Letter on ya address Jumale.
Address the president.
I addressed this letter to the president.
And who was the president at that time?
Jumale munum president do watola.
Yaya Jammeh.
It was Yaya Jammeh.
What was the content of this letter?
Letter on ay muna fudi.
Yo beren ay letter fara.
When he opened the letter,
headline
he looked at the headline. He read it for some time and returned the letter. But what we wrote on the letter, we said that in the letter, you, President Yaya Jammeh, a highly respected and honored person, we are in a dispute about the Jahali Pachari committee membership. We called for an AGM, they refused to hand over, and I've been to many offices of the government, but still they are refusing.
So basically you explained all that transpired, which you and the old executives in the letter.
Amunta ko nyinka sutiande don ko men be tamate itening ito fam kunni woni la kafo mola ning kafu koto ni la molu men tamate ini tema yole kuma komulta yake wala taro nyinkono. Ha.
Yes.
Was this letter forwarded to the president?
Fo ila londo fo nyi letter nying anara na fu the president o malaba.
Wa kwenye ni azonda na somandamo ya ngadi na kwenye mbafu la president.
Well, what Wa told me was that by the grace of Allah, I will take this letter to the president. After that, one day, I was there sitting down, a policeman came. He told me that the SO said you should go and answer to the police station. I went to the police station. He told me, Haruna, well, forgive me, but it's not a pleasant news. He told me that I have got news that I should arrest you. He said there is an information saying that you gave false information, and I have been informed to hold you here, and people will come who will take you away. He asked me, who and who are you involved with in this matter? Then I gave him the names of the people I was working with. Our secretary Makanjara, Vice President our Vice President Usman Mbalo, our Kasi Alhaji Manunjai. I gave him those names. He told me that, well, I will call all of them, and all of you will sit down here. When these people come to collect you, you will go along with all of them.
At that point, did they charge you with any offense?
When we were picked from there, they took us to the Bansang police station. When we reached the Bansang police station, another person joined us there called Ablai Job Sani. We were all detained there for 2 weeks at the Bansang police station. Then we were taken to a magistrate's court.
Prior to you being detained for 2 weeks at the Bansang police station, did they charge you with any offense?
Apart from the charge that I gave false information, they told me nothing else.
Did they collect your statement during that 2 weeks period that you were in detention?
Honey. No.
Did they make you sign any form of document while you were there?
Yambo mena be bluje Morocco no fo inara na kaiti di la banka fo nyi sign.
Honey.
No.
So you were in detention at the Bansang police station for 2 weeks.
Munde tarta Morocco no je fo lokum fula Bansang police station no.
And thereafter they took you before the court.
Primo borala inara ne samba kiti o nyati limola.
Tell us what happened during the court proceedings.
Silanga fonya kiti o nyi wicho nyi kon waro mena kiti o betamba kam mune nata nake.
Nada magistrate ko ndebe Brikama bale kan sama Bansang wato wati passport sotla sa ndande Brikama kan kiti ndoro.
Then I informed the magistrate that I am staying at Brikama Bar. So bringing me to Bansang, coming here every time is going to be difficult for me. Why can't we do the case at Brikama Bar?
Yo ndoro magistrate do nata wodo botaje lamini mbay nata magistrate.
Later on it was the magistrate was changed and Lamin Mbaye came.
When kiti ndoro kiti nata law for what dantang.
Then after the trial went on for some time, the trial came to a halt.
During your trial, did you have any legal representative?
No, there
was no lawyer who stood for me.
How many of you were charged with giving false information?
We were about five people.
And who did they say you gave false information to?
Sai ko kibaro di jummo jumala men mangi to nyati
mo ndemo mo fane londe bay ko nga kayto safe ngamu no kayta kilon ko ngol safe ngamu ki president wo false information.
They were saying that that letter I wrote to the president was the letter carrying false information.
And I
never saw that document in front of these magistrates telling me this is the document you wrote, and apart from that also they didn't bring out any other document.
When you were taken before the magistrate court, were you at any point released on bail?
Yes, we were bailed at Bansang. When we were going to court later on at Brikamaba, we used to go and come.
Nada kombo yang biro wole ko ifo dan ko je biri nada nada lumina wole yang arrestende ko yang samba remind yana makati.
Then I came to Combo, but when I returned home, they said they came in my absence there. But when I arrived home, I was later arrested and taken to Makati. Myself and my people.
Why were you arrested and taken to Makati?
I
asked for the reason for that there.
They
said they came to look for me and they didn't find me because I was in a court case. I shouldn't have gone to anywhere. That's why they arrested me and my people.
At that time, were you aware that the case was ongoing before you traveled to the Combos?
In those days, there was no court case going on. In fact, it looked like the case had already died down.
For how long were you detained in remand?
What did you see? Either the Morocco remand, well, Janjamure Kasototi.
Janjamure Kasobu, the Karnin Fensoje, remind from her.
At the remand in Janjamure prison, I spent a month plus there.
What eventually happened to the case of giving false information?
Case ning yetu miro men lekan ka fa kibaro di mola men manke to nyaade mun na na case ning nyala bangoti akita nyaadi le
biri embeli ina da murundi nambe ko kitio.
After we were bailed, they said again we should go to court.
Yo fo long magistrate na da fonye akonye sai ni lokuna da mbela kitio kundale.
Then the magistrate informed me that this week coming we will deliver a judgment in your case. Then I left.
Before that, Did anyone testify against you during the court proceedings?
Kitio ni vicho ni kono tembo mena kitio ni betama kang fo mosoron de la bamenna ay sedandiro di bankola karola mulla banka sedandiro di te kang tumiro le melle kang ani
no.
Who were the people prosecuting you in court?
Yumal tarta num kete kiti dingira nyindo
fenke na magistrate mo lamini bayra di bare prosecutor mo fenke di sajin sajo.
The prosecutor the magistrate was Lamin Mbaye, but the prosecutor was Sergeant Sajo
Makati.
At Makati.
You were telling the commission that the prosecutor did not call any witness against you throughout the trial.
Munda eka fo commission en ko kitio ni wijo ni be kono bangola molla karola menketa police woldi itol nana man hani seda kilin kumandi kana seda andiro di kitio tumiro la melle kan
hani wonere man kije.
No, that never happened.
So what happened with the case?
Sayin kitio ni munana na kala
bili ko be kitio bira ko nyen lokun na mbe kitio kundula.
When he told me that I will deliver the judgment this week coming,
defana na lawyer ya jang Serif Tambado.
I also came to visit my lawyer, Serif Tambado.
Quarter to London.
They said he went to London.
Nada Khalifa Saleh.
Then I went to Khalifa Saleh.
Khalifa Saleh lawyer jibe promul bitalo la nye kitio la ji.
Khalifa Saleh looked for lawyers for us who were going to stand for us.
Wala yakata bake.
He tried very well.
Are lawyer ga muna itandala ko je jam fatal ninja no bake la bari telefona mbulo be faran kitio la.
But what the lawyers tell him that Janjam or that area is too far away. Had it been in Kombo here, it would have been easier. Khalifa tried for us by all means. He told me then, well, we have to take things as they stand. Then I went back. The day of the judgment, he said to me, Haruna, he told me, now I'm about to deliver judgment in your case.
Before the judgment, were you given an opportunity to defend yourself?
Yes,
No, that never took place.
No witnesses were called?
No single witness appeared.
And you were not given an opportunity to speak in court?
No, we were not given that chance to speak. Just on the day that we gave our papers to the magistrate. I gave him the documents about the AGM and what the auditors said. But they didn't look into that. Apart from that, nothing happened there.
What of the other people you were charged with?
Were they
at any point given an opportunity to speak for themselves?
Just as for our Vice President Usman Mbalo, got up and said that he is innocent. Plus all these other committee members, they all said they are innocent. They didn't commit any crime. Yes, that was said at the court.
What was the outcome of the judgment?
The magistrate asked us, what is going to be our plea? He started with all other members of the committee. They all spoke about their plea. He lasted with me.
Can you please repeat it so that the interpreter will get it right?
He said, what can we say for them begging for mercy, for them to have mercy on us?
That's correct. And after that, what happened?
We showed them why they should have mercy on us. Then he later charged us. He said, I will spend 7 months in jail. Plus hard labor, with hard labor. And he charged me to pay $500.
Kariworo, that would be...
Kariworo for Kariworo. 6 months.
6 months.
Yes, Thank you.
With a fine of $500.
With a fine of $500.
How about the other accused persons?
3 months.
He said our secretary will go for 3 months in jail.
Member Momo Abla Job San ako fanan Karworo.
Abla Job San, another member said he will also go for 6 months. Karworo.
Ako Alaji Banunjai ayo free.
Alaji Banunjai was set free.
Usman Mbalo ayo free na vice president.
Our vice president Usman Mbalo was also set free. Then this is how we were taken to jail. That's how it ended.
And did you serve the 6-month sentence?
No, I didn't spend all the 6 months in jail.
President Jammeh.
President Jammeh. When he comes round for a tour, he used to pray at our village mosque. And he takes along with a lot of charity with him. He held meetings around there. And he said that he's going to pray the Friday prayers at our mosque. And on that day, on that Friday, particular Friday, he prayed at our village mosque. He was talking to my father because the imamship mantle rests with our family there. When he was talking with my father, that's the old man he pointed to. He asked the old man about his difficulties. The old man said our mosque is almost 100 years old, so that he can help us to make or furnish or repair the mosque. And he also told him that my son is also in jail. These are the difficulties we are facing here. He said, you said your son is in jail? He said, yes, my son is in jail. And he asked my father, what's the problem? The old man said to him, you don't know any reason for him. The old man said to him, we don't know any reason why he should be arrested and jailed. He said to me,
sorry, can you repeat what you said so that the interpreter will get it right again?
When the
president came to pray...
No, what you said previously before I interrupted you. My apologies, the interpreter got it wrong.
My father said to the president, I don't know the reason why he was arrested. He said to my father, can somebody be caught without any reason? Well, my father said to him that, well, I have not seen or I don't know any reason.
You were not there at the time your father was having this conversation with the president, correct?
Yes.
How did you come to know this, what you're telling us right now?
I was told.
I who?
Juma.
My father.
And your father pleaded for the president to intervene in your situation, correct?
Yes.
So what happened after that?
That instant, he told them to go and bring me out of prison, myself and the others who were all jailed with me.
At that time, how many days or months did you spend in prison?
Bring ya jameni fama yo kacha so ye wati jelle ke kaso do kari jelu waranto loku jelu ye jelle keje janni be findindila atitanna le keje.
I spent 40 days in jail.
Before he sent for you to be brought to him directly, was there any process that was done through the courts?
Janning abe kango dila pour yete kamana ina nyoje face à face fo ko tama dila ba men be bola kiti bundala karola ba pour ka kayto topoto janni be findin la kasoro ba auto mom be konto ne ba auto mo ngaji ko parce que man parce que fostir funyele bo tomane kan ko mate bra auto mom be konto le.
Well, I was in jail. Maybe Sirif and others might have done something about it, but I was not there. I was in jail.
But you were just released just by the words of President Jammeh to go get you from prison and bring you, correct?
Munta ite bula kamole kandron ya Jammeh kawmendi don kafuko alta aleta mo kare kamana wala mu ite dikate kamana yate kamana wala nyama ronke findini kasola tonya. Ha.
Yes.
Was it the same day he said that you should be brought out of prison that you were taken out?
Oh, nunkili wala nungomen na kango di purka te boni nan kasoro nunkili ngine date kama nan kasoro ke finde ne ke nati le mamba. Ah, wala data je fam.
Yes, that was the very day.
Right there and then when he had that discussion with your father and said that they should bring you from prison and take you out. That was the very moment that you were brought out of prison, correct?
Amunda jedo tariya ringe dambo men ani fama yo kacha sodo donga natna kango di pur kate kama nan kasoro do tati kama na ye nati na tariya ringe fotonya. Ha.
Yes.
Did you meet him there when you were brought out of prison?
Riye bun nan kasoro ina da fo ya fama kunni mo tarajela ta ya bang. Ha.
Yes.
Did you have any discussions with him?
Silang ida fama kunni mo ina na kacha sodo le bang.
When I found him holding a meeting, he was at that moment speaking at a meeting. He called Usman Sonko. Interior Minister. He was the Interior Minister. He talked to Usman Sonko. Then Usman came and met us and took him and we stood behind him. He said to me, Haruna Gassama. He told me that the president said I should tell you that he is releasing you today. He has made you that like a baby who was born today, who has never committed a crime. He said you have an equal standing like a baby born today. He has made you free from today. Nothing will happen to you. I also gave some words to Usman Sonko for the president. I said to Usman Sonko, tell President Jammeh I thank him. The power he used as the president of this country to release me, may Allah help him and empower him. I prayed for him. This is how I was released. I went home.
What kind of meeting was going on there?
He was holding political meetings.
Why do you think he released you on that very day of the meeting?
Well, I
thought because of my father's plea to him, that might have been the reason why he decided to release me.
Were you surprised with the fast pace of your release? Just he said one word and then you're out.
ako nyin ayeti jahali la bang ko nyin tariyata nyama ay kuma kan kalima kilin dron fo wo ko nyin dron idata te kay bonni kasoro kena ko tada fa ay jahali la bang
ay jahali barne rajibe ko otumo bi mansayala sembo batale bulu ate drone so no.
I was a little bit surprised, but afterwards I thought this man is the leader of this country. He has all the powers. Then he is capable of what he did.
So that was an extraordinary display of his powers, correct?
Yes, because he took me out of distress.
How did the crowd react to that action of the president?
Jamara hamano membe maberi miti bendula nyinto moneketela lodlad moneketela manyati
aje fo modena sewo mo itande atentu.
Well, a lot of people there expressed their pleasure and gave thanks to Allah. Because that's what the people want, so that if he can be released from jail. Yeah, the people were very pleased with that action.
So the people were happy that he just said a word and then got you out of prison.
Yes, it really pleased the people there.
And he must have won the hearts of the people just by doing that act.
Yes, really. Yes, that won the hearts and minds of the people present, because that action really pleased our people who were there, because that's what they wanted.
Who were the people that went to remove you from prison to the meeting ground?
Well, the
commissioner of the prison. Plus some soldiers.
And who was the commissioner then at that time?
The man was called Keba Bojang, but presently he has passed away.
You are aware that it is by a court order that you were sent to prison, correct?
Yes.
And even though you were happy by the actions of the president, do you know that what he did was unlawful?
Yes, that's true.
At that point, were you aware that he had break the law by just removing you from prison just like that?
I didn't think about that at that moment, and I didn't take it as an anomaly, because he's the president, he has all the powers, so that's just what I was thinking of.
After you were released from prison, did you take up your position as the newly elected president of the Jahale Pacha Rice project?
For inarna ila makama kutonyi yetombo benna kake Jahali Pacha la mani senela la kafodi. For inarna makamo ni inarna taleba.
Honey, no.
Can you tell us if you did anything to assume that position?
Isa fono nyafo ibula rinkola fo inarna kukela bang purka kaje ko makamo ni yata ya ila doko nyinka ka kumase
ha nakukele.
Yes, I did something.
Because
the day I was released, the following day I came to Kombo. I went to Banjul. I went to my lawyer, Serif Tambedu. I went to show him that I have been released. Our court case, which was here, I'm released, but they didn't give me the materials. That my belongings. My belongings, sorry.
Please, can you clarify that for us? What are you referring to when you said your belongings?
Yes, and Nico, Yebula Barilla, Itam Mendila, Itam Fangal Mendila, Joan only made Muna what he gave Fandinaba.
These were materials, our farming implements at the Jahali Pachar. These are the materials I was referring to.
Those are the farming equipments, right?
Yes, farming implements.
So what happened?
Then Sirif went along with the court. The judge was Mari Firdaus Sen.
In which court was this case filed?
In case ni ya safe kidi bunda jumaldo. Ya safe magistrate court 61 Bokul Street.
At the magistrate court at 61 Bokul Street.
And what was the reason for this case? What did you want out of this case?
In kitiyo nying muna madali lori lafta muna la nying kitiyo nying kono. Lafta muna nying kitiyo dalilo kono puru tonya ilo tonya tiyo la tonya idila.
What I wanted out of this case was to have justice. Those who have the truth should be accorded their justice.
And what was that justice?
Muna wo tonya ti ilo lafta menna. Committee kutol
that means the old committee who refused to hand over the materials to the new committee. So this is why we decided so that the court can return the materials to the new committee.
So you filed a case against the old committee members.
Mol kamen koto molti narna kiso bulini kama.
So that they can hand over all the farming equipment to you as the newly elected committee of the Jahali Pacha Rice Project.
Exactly. Nying kamala ko kitio si kangu di puru kafukoto nyingi si fengol beta joran meran ko Jahali Pacha senelal la kafo nyina joran si beta ya ta ya di tani la kafo molla.
Yes.
And did you get a favorable response from the court?
O inarna jabiru soto kitio nyati nolba me alon ko adiate tuloeba.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Mafanyo ukuro ba. Kitio nyimbira bitaka.
When the case was on,
the
case was taken from Mary Firdaus Sen. And it was handed over to a Nigerian judge. In less than a week, it was taken from him and given to Penda Diba. Penda Diba did the case. But members of the old committee don't come to the court. Only members of the new committee, we are the only people who come to attend the court. Then Penda wrote a letter and sent it to each and every one of the old members so that they can come and attend the case because they are going to deliver judgment in the case. The day she gave them, they all came that day and they didn't fail. But when they were coming, they came with somebody who came with them to the courthouse.
Who was this person?
It was Ibrahim Jawara.
Permanent Secretary of Agriculture.
He was the permanent secretary at the Agri Department in those days. Plus Hassan Jallo.
And what was Hassan Jallo's role?
Hassan Jallo munamala makamutin.
Second permanent secretary.
He was the deputy Palm Sec.
What happened when the old committee members arrived with Ibrahim Jawara, the permanent secretary, and Hassan Jallo, his his deputy.
Saying Munana Nake bring Ning Kafu Koto Ning Kafu Koto Ning Mundamol Ning in Aranafrakiti Bunda Nindo in Hassan Jalo and Ibrahim Jawara.
Bring I tell Ibrahim Jawara and the committee could until the Syrian Ibrahim Jawara and committee could be a Syrian Yoka.
When they arrived, we sat on one side, the new members of the committee, and the old members of the committee were on this other side with Ibrahim Jawara and Hassan Jalo.
Jojo Nata Rakaito Karang.
Then the judge came and read out the paper.
Ibrahim Jawara Wulta.
Ibrahim Jawara got up.
Ako Jojo Eko.
He told the judge that
Aka ent left the Brazilian Kitio Bulambulukana Kundu Nata Kachangil Tema.
And told the judge that I want you to leave this case with me. Don't deliver the judgment. I want to go and talk between these people.
The
judge asked him, "Who are you?"
Permanent Secretary number 1 agriculture.
He said that he is the permanent secretary number 1 at the Agri Department. Then the judge said to him, "Is it today that you are coming here for this case?"
Akanyin ko be meri amammo kumbanyin banko kanjanga ita telemanyin ko bang fo bi nkonyile na jawo iko ini na ko be nyin ko talambulu ita nyin ko discourse
the judge told him this case has been dragging on for so long. You didn't intervene until the day that I'm about to deliver judgment. So it is today that you want to come here and you want me to leave this case with you so that we can go and talk between these people. The judge told him that you should not even have sat with these people.
The
judge told him that all these people are your families. You shouldn't side with one side and leave the other side. Then the judge said, "Okay, but as you asked, I will leave the case with you so that you can go and talk to them."
The
judge told him whether you are able to solve the problem or not, but this month coming, on so and so day, I will deliver judgment for this case. Whether you are able to solve it or not, I will deliver judgment on that day.
Supreme Court
Then he said, you can go to the Supreme Court and talk about it, and we should come to an agreement. Ibrahim Jawara said, no, we will go to another venue where we will chat between ourselves, which is not even part of Banjul.
You're talking about going outside the court, close to the Supreme Court, and not the actual court, correct?
Jojo menvola nyindiko albe fintla kiti bungo fango e bantala la barata kala kiti bungo nyi fango kono albe fintla kiti bungo e bantala eta ko nyi kachaje.
Yeah, okay.
Did you have the opportunity to sit with the permanent secretary Ibrahim Jawara and the old executive to discuss this issue?
Silang inar na harjo nyi sura la bampur ini Ibrahim Jawara ani executive koto nyi kaf koto nyi ini yesi ale nyi ko nyi kacha inar na harjo sura bulle ba.
Yes.
Can you tell us what the outcome of that meeting was?
Law bengo nyi muneketa alkambenda munela fesa fono nyamba.
Yo birin sayra mbe ya brikama ba Ibrahim Jawara yanko ya konyeko isna tunalunga beng K point bakaw.
I went home and became a bar, and Ibrahim Jawara later called me and told me that on Monday, try and come so that we can meet at Bakau K Point.
Agribusiness.
At the agribusiness office.
So Monday and Saturday?
On that day, on the morning, I went there.
And then the committee could have a president Jimbo, Alai Musa Jimbo Tarawale, Fanamabir.
Plus, president of the old committee, Alaji Musa Jimbo Tarawale, he also came.
Yo, Woluna, Ataji Ibrahim Jawara Manna, but Hassan Jallo China.
On that day, Ibrahim Jawara himself didn't come, but he sent Ibrahim Jawara. He sent Hassan Jallo.
And then Governor Ganyi Ture.
Plus our governor Ganyi Ture.
And then auditor Chorna E Mbalo.
Plus the auditor Cherno E Mbalo.
Yo, they told
me this discussion we are going to have today. He said this AGM that was held, we are going to annul everything about it. Now we will discuss about a new AGM. Then that's what we want to discuss here so that we can do that
properly.
When I was given this information, I said to them, I've heard what you've said. I said, this AGM that was held, the first one, this is what we are going to discuss and clear everything about it. After that, whatever should be done will be done after that. If this AGM is not clarified or clear, I will also not agree to anything. I told him that if this first AGM, its decisions and what was agreed there is not clear, I will not agree to any new AGM again.
So the issue was not resolved in that meeting?
Yes.
Did you go back to the courts?
Yes.
Tell us the outcome of the court case.
I went to our lawyer and explained to him that there was no agreement. The first day of the court, that day, they didn't come that day also. Then that's the day that Justice Pendadiba said, this week coming, I will deliver the verdict, the judgment. Then that day, she decided to deliver the judgment. After the judgment was delivered, at that court meeting that day, they said the troubles they put me in, they should compensate me with $100,000. That's how she delivered the judgment. We dispersed. I went to my lawyer at his office.
Go on, please.
I went to my lawyer at his office. He asked me, who are your local leaders, people with who has voice around there? Okay. I gave him the names of our local leaders there. I governor copy. She sent a copy to the governor and the police commissioner, plus the police commissioner and the SO and the SO at the Brikama police. And Sapo director and at the director at Sapo and the lady councilor, plus our lady councilor and then chairman and our chairman. And I personally delivered these documents to all these people, including the governor, to show them that judgment was delivered, so that these people will give us these materials, so that there will be no other problem again. It also went for more than a month. Nothing happened. I said, okay. I said, okay, let me go back to Banjul again. I went to my lawyer. I explained the matter to Sheriff. Sheriff went to the judge. He said, now what we are going to do, we are going to organize a Sheriff's division so that they will go and take these materials and give it to you. I said, okay. That day also came, the Sheriff's division left here. They went to Brikama. They spent the night there. In the morning, they went to collect these materials from members of this old committee, so that they can hand over these things to me. That's what we were doing until 6 o'clock. They said they will leave things at that point until the following morning. When we came home, I was just about to perform ablution for the 7 o'clock prayer. A policeman arrived. He came to me and said, Haruna, He said, SO said, let me tell you to go.
Kaya bismillah.
I said, okay.
Natata.
I went with him.
SO kwenye Haruna.
SO told me, Haruna.
Executive order.
An executive order.
That's
what arrived here now. And they said, let me arrest you. The things that you collected, so that you can return all these things right away. I said, is that what happened?
At this point, there was already a court judgment in your favor for you to collect all these farming equipment. And the sheriff was there to execute the judgment of the court. And whatever you did, you did with the backing of the sheriff division, correct?
Yes.
Go on.
When I arrived there, he told me that they said you should return these materials. We took a pickup. We went to my home. There was a rice milling machine. We put that on board the vehicle. I returned it back to where we took it from. The tractor we took from Pachari and took it to Sapo where we parked it. They said we should take that tractor back to the place we took it from, which was with the old committee members. We returned those things also. People were talking, some were even criticizing me. Where people, some were clapping and laughing. When I arrived at the police station, when we reached the police station, I found the NIA vehicle there. Ture. They said, now we will put you on board this vehicle.
Executive order.
This is an executive order, and they said we should take you along. That night.
My apologies for cutting you. When they said executive order, what did you understand by executive order at that point?
Executive order. Executive order.
Executive order.
Executive order.
The whole country knows what an executive order is.
President office.
They always say that it's from the president's office. On the advice of the president. This is how we interpret it. Whoever is giving this information, then your hands are on your head.
So the court gave you the power to assume your rightful position as the leader of the new executive of the Jahali Pacha Rice Project.
Titio narna sembo di la puruyete la makamo nyinta me yalon ko yetom mo yetele kenye purka kenya ton ko di Jahali Pacha lo sama sama mani senela lo kofo nyindo puriyeke nyaton ko di.
By virtue of the AGM that was held and you won.
And sujita muneka ngela tombondo nyi sujita menga wala nyindigo sawo sang bengo kafo bengo menga ke narne tombon puriyeke nyaton ko di.
And they backed you up with the sheriff division.
Inata na moldi la mealon ko sheriff division na moldam pour wolisi bambu yetare nyati ngola nyato yetare ko ma pour yetete
to collect all the farming equipments from the old executives.
Pour yeta ye jorangol beta men yalon ko alpha kafu kotol nyi jorangol nyi membe bulka beta e bulu yete ye kafu nyoma wa etelam president kutoti ye mentom bon.
And an executive directive was issued.
Inata na kamodi kafu ko executive directive wala president santo kumo nyibonna santo ka inata na ofintindi
for them to hinder the court's judgment. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what happened when they were taking you to the NIA?
After all what we did, packing those things, then afterwards I was packed and taken to the NIA. I spent the night there till daybreak. In fact, I was put in the midst of the people who did the 31st December attack.
In fact, were you the only one that was arrested by the NIA?
Well, at the position we were, if you are a leader, you always bear the burden.
And did they show you the executive order that was issued for your arrest?
What executive order ni kamenna kumo for iya itandila labang?
Yes, I was shown when they took me to the place.
Were you shown a particular document that states that this is an executive order for your arrest?
Akamenna kumumem for wala mino inarana kaiti tandila bangi ka me executive order asafering on kaiti tandila ko kango dila ka bona sandor pour nge arrest.
No. No such document came. They just informed me verbally.
So by the words of the president, you were released from prison when you were sentenced by the courts. Even when you've not served your full sentence. And by an executive order, you were arrested and taken to the NIA, even after the court stated that you should be given your rightful position as the head of the new executive of the Jahali Pacha Rice Project. How did you feel about this?
Well, the unhappiness that I felt was too much for me.
And why did you feel unhappy?
Because mfauna lokali ya to mankuba no ngasamba banko be ya kiribumba faranto wori fana ya kiti bandi hansa be yandalanna mo ko tan kamuta mamullo. Well, what happened in this case is that after I was selected by our own committee, I was given a leadership. Now, after all what happened, now the case went to a courthouse which was a high court in this country, and they gave me justice. And upon all that, I was again arrested and they were treating me so bad. So this is why I was very, very unhappy about what has happened.
Did you feel that the executive order that was issued for your arrest was an abuse of the president's powers?
Oh, ila mira lorete. Executive order mem findindida. Kule meya lonko president wa landa tambola ke ala sambo nyinto.
Yes, it was too much.
Tell us what happened when you got to the NIA.
Silang afonye biri na ra yesamba fo alfurata NIA.
Na found bondembala yolu mabo. Well, they took some belongings from me and they kept it. I was there till the second day of my arrival there. They He asked me about this matter. I explained the matter to them. They told me, but what you are narrating here, but if that is the case, then you have been offended. They said, but now, because give us time, because we are going to Brikama and ask people there, so that what you have just explained to us, if that is the truth, we will know. If it is not, we will know. Alhamdulillah. Thanks to Allah. They went to Brikama. What I explained to them at the NIA, that's what they found at Brikama. That really made me happy. Until I went out, I was just going to have my showers. When NIA was there, he said to me, Gassama, he said to me, we are back. Truly, what you narrated to us here is the truth. That's how things were. He said, yes, you are the selected person. He told me that. So I was sitting down at the NIA there.
Even after finding out the truth, did the NIA operatives release you?
No, they didn't release me.
Can you recall the names of the NIA operatives that were interrogating you when you arrived at their premises?
Director
General was there, Yankuba Baji. Plus his other directors with him. They were going round till they reached me. He asked me, are you Haruna Gassama? I said yes. He said to me, you have been here for some time now. Prepare yourself. Thursday coming, we will release you. You will go home that day. I was happy on that day. And I also told him that. I asked him, what is your name? He said he's called Sheikh Yakuba. I said, I'm happy about that, because in the west side of Africa here, those people are big learners. We discussed there, and I was happy. Then we dispersed. After that, I think I spent another 3 months there, making it 6 months I was at the NIA. If it is not more than that.
So even after he promised that you will leave that very day, or that you will be released that very day, the director did not keep his word. Yes, he didn't do what he said. Why do you think that the director did not release you even after promising that he will release you? After we dispersed after the discussion that day, I never set eyes on him again till I was released. While at the NIA, were you at any point charged with any offense? No, apart from sitting down, no charge was levied on me at the NIA. Did you have access to your lawyer? When I went there, I didn't see my lawyer except for once. It was around 7 o'clock prayer time. He came in with his prayer mat. When he prayed for the 7 o'clock prayers, he came and shook my hands. We exchanged greetings.
He asked me, hope something didn't happen to you here. I said, no, nothing happened to me. He asked me, were you not beaten here? I said, no. He asked me whether I was also insulted. I said, no, nothing has happened to me. Then he went inside around that 7 o'clock prayer time. Then they told us to go in. After that, I didn't see him again.
Did your family members have access to you?
Family lo ila badingol fo silo soro ampuru iniye nyoja bang.
No, they never saw me. Well, a lot of things were said when I was arrested. Some people were even saying that they have arrested me. Some were saying that they have even killed me, which really made my mother very sick. It was after my lawyer saw me, he went and informed my people that he is well and alive. Nothing has happened to him. So that really made my people to calm down.
Can you tell us where you were detained at the NIA?
NIA was Hansan Kono. For isa fono nye yemara minto ma fan nejero. Nana follow ni dunta NIA Hansan Kono don boom de silo kan da bunda yatangi. Because you just see that me yemara wallet.
While going into the NIA compound, there was a building near the gate where that's the place where they made me sit down, and that's the place where I remained. When these people were tried, who were the December attackers, after their court case, they removed me from that place and took me right inside. They took me right inside. There was a big room there where they kept me.
When you arrived at the NIA, did they take your details to know that you were, to get it on a piece of paper to state that you were there?
Oh, yela kibarol Taliban ka safe ka itandiko ite Haruna Gassama ibe janne be NIA sansan kono janne yena de janne for yela kibarol Taliban then kabri yena de je. And in kibaru killing mata. No,
they didn't write anything about me.
They did not record your name in any book.
The
first night that I arrived there, the man we found there is the person who just wrote my name in a book. But apart from that, nothing else happened.
Can you recall the date you were taken to the NIA?
It was on a Tuesday. Because it was the day after the Sheriff's division came, it was the following day that I was arrested and they took me away.
Can you recall the year?
2015.
It was 2015.
Apart from the 30th December attackers, were you detained with anyone else at the NIA?
Yes, there were some other people.
Can you tell us roughly how many people were detained with you?
Isa fono nye ka student model ini menu tartanu nyoka nje. Dale katale kana do lokon fula do lokon sabante do na mo mi anda kon safa kar woro ke bare ni akonde de faydo mulkate kana motallu da sa outlet.
Well, I was the only one who was permanently kept there for 6 months, but the others, someone will come and will go, others will come and go.
Can you tell us what kind of people were detained at the NIA?
Sidang visa fono nya mummo façon sifal jumal lambe ka menno munade NIA jeke sindije katara maroko no je. Yalo mo jamal mo mo façon jamal mo mulkana bawo may bika black dem.
There were many different people who were brought there, and they are all from various places.
And for how many days would they be detained before they are released?
Katara je for what lunjelu janni be bulala.
Today la Kenya de bulu, dole katara saje tlikilim fulan jamu yolu bula, dole ka lokun kije dole lokun fula.
It depends on what they were arrested for. Some will be there for just 2 days and released. Some will be there for a week or 2 weeks and later released. Sometimes all the other detainees will be released. I will be left there alone.
Did you notice any procedure as to release of detainees at the NIA?
Jeto for sila kala muda jela bang ikasilo menta ikaful bula silo men no mani be mobula la NIA sansan kono je ikasilo menta for ku karanga ko kono jela bang ikasila nyadi lelta ni be mobula la.
Well, as for me, I can say what happened to me.
You were there with other people and you saw them being released.
Jeto ita tanunje ini mo kutangol del tanunje fo anu ye wol jela jani be kabri be bulala ye silomenta jani be bulala
mkatare bun kono.
Yes, sometimes I'll be inside a room because we were right behind and it is very far from where the Director General used to be. They will just come and open the door. The person they want to take away, they will just call that person and go away with him. Some will come to us and say, well, if you have some money, give it to us. But when they leave, sometimes they never return. That is something that they themselves know, and that's what sometimes they do amongst themselves.
During your detention at the NIA, were you at any point tortured?
For jamani the sita labang what for what na sita labang tambo me alon ko ye tajire ya waranto fay buteje
tonya kem ko ala.
Well, honestly speaking, I was never beaten at the NIA. They never insulted me there. And they never disgraced me there. What happened to me there? Because I spent a long time there. Because they used to be looking at us and we will also be observing them. In fact, towards the end, they don't even call me by name. They just call me Imam. Even after some people launder their clothes, after the laundry, they don't allow those people to go out and dry their clothes outside. They will usually give it to me. They will allow me to go out. I will go and dry those clothes and I come back. Because you know, sometimes if people stay together too long, there will come a time or sometimes they will get angry about each other, with each other. And I usually talk to them and they usually take my words. But really, honestly speaking, they never did anything to me there. Yeah, just sitting down has been too long, and that in fact has affected my knees because we used to sit down for too long. Yes, because sometimes we the inmates, we used to contribute and buy mosquito spray and spray the place because there were too many mosquitoes. Sometimes I will go into the room when that spray has not even completely expired from the room. That also gave me a problem which affected my chest. But apart from that, nothing really has happened to me there.
Why were they referring to you as Imam?
I spent a long time there.
Nemfana salo bikarje ko kundindron alla kidoro je nim mulundon mun kafanyo maje mulkata mfeje ndreka tamdra manya jato ndreka tambe cold.
And usually all those who come there, when it is prayer time, they all converge and they allow me to lead the prayers. So sometimes I will ask somebody to lead the prayers and we will pray behind that person. Yes.
Tell us about the food.
Domoro la Carola, domanding fonye jeba. Domoro la Carola, somanda eka muani lule diala.
On the side of food, in the morning they will give us $25 for our breakfast. Lunch also is $25. The dinner also is $25. And they don't force you. The security will come and stand over you. And he will ask you, what do you want? Whatever you want, you will tell him and they will write it down. They will go and buy those things and bring it through. That's what happened when I was there.
You told us that you were there for about 6 months. And during that period, people were brought in and released. Can you tell us roughly within that 6 months how many people were detained there in and out?
Isa fono nye okari woro yiwisho nyingo na tata nunje wato menna mojellel nati je imembula ikena ikadol nati monanga mujellam ila mira loro
ndi wol be to fono ba dol bi jeden so ngol to ngol dol ba dol bi je momun nata ndol be to fono.
I cannot name all the people who came there, who were brought there, but there are some whom I can remember.
Romo kelemi je wala na ke wala kranya sabu nyimari fanda fa ngaje koko.
Because one man came there, his coming there was created a lock for me, because I can say that it is because of his coming which also made my release possible.
Roughly in terms of the number of people you witnessed being detained at the NIA, can you estimate that number for us?
So menu muta ke nati ke bula ka fo le wala ko fo hakilo sa yirko muta wala ba mojellem
nda yirko muta ba ngasa fa asiara mo talulti nda sa fa asiara wala kamum muta ke bula ke muta yebula.
I cannot give you an exact number, but the people who were arrested, brought there and released, well, I can say it will be more than 50 people. Some of them are even my people. I happen to know some of them.
During your detention, did you witness or see anyone being tortured?
No, I
didn't witness anything like that in the room I was.
Did you see any detainees with visible injuries?
Yes, I've seen something like that. I saw that.
Can you tell us about those individuals?
What I can say about that, when I got up, I just saw this person with wounds on his body. I had something like mentolatum. I gave it to him to rub on his body. He's the person I saw who was wounded. But that person is not even somebody I know. I don't think he's from this area. Yes, truly, I saw that person.
Did the person tell you how they got that injury?
No, he didn't tell me how he got the injuries. He didn't tell me anything like that. In fact, I left that person in custody there. the day I was released. But by that time, he has completely recovered.
Can you tell us what led to your release?
What nkatoi kumande le bro bijang le batari le fra fondila na dimbal beso kono ol mantar blalon.
Every time we used to call them, I am here suffering, my family is at home, they don't know what's happening to me, they don't know about me. We used to tell them that information. One day I was praying the 2 o'clock prayers and NIA operative came. He said to me, Gassama, they have sent me to tell you to go right now. I said, okay. After my prayers, I went. I went along with him because you cannot go alone, you have to go with somebody. Then I went with him. When we arrived, they told me, Gassama, you've spent a long time here. Now we have got a way for you to go home. I said, is that it? They said, yes. I said, thanks to Allah. They said, but you will bring a compound deed or documents for a compound so that we can bail you. I said, hey, then I'll spend a long time here because I don't have any such document with me. But because I've spent a long time there, because if people come there, we used to chat and ask each other. After explaining my duration, I spent there, I said that to somebody. He in fact he told me, tell the NIA to find a job for you here because you won't go back. He told me the NIA, if you don't bring a compound paper for them, you won't go because you should be bailed. They brought me back into the room. In that room, there was an elderly person, somebody who has mercy, and somebody who really sympathized with me. He is a government worker. Custom officer, airport. He was a custom officer at the airport. He's called Buba Sise from Kudang. He asked me, what is it? Then I told him that they said if I cannot produce a compound document, they will not bail me. He said if that is the only problem, then you will not spend the night here. We were all in that room there at the NIA.
Was he also a detainee?
Yes, he was also a detainee. Because he was brought there on 2 occasions, he found me there. Then what he usually tells me that I feel very sad for you. In fact, sometimes he nearly cries. Then Buba made a plan how to call his brother. His younger brother is the person called Lamin Sise. Some call him Ndox. He came there. Buba really tried for me there. He took his compound document. He doesn't know me. But Buba knows me. And he is somebody who really sympathizes people. Buba Sise talked to him on my behalf and they took that compound document. This is how I was released.
Apart from someone providing a compound document, was there any other way that an individual can be released without providing a compound document? That is at the NIA.
Powerful people always have many means. They can use other means. But poor people, you have no choice.
Can you tell us about those other means?
Sila kotandol fono nyebang silo do bembeje musi men tamandeno ning ayatara imari man korda kayto soto
you can use money. Because at my position there at that time, I have no money. I cannot use any money. At that time, it was only the compound document they asked from me. And if it was not for Buba, I will not be able to get that document. I can say that it was Buba who facilitated my release.
Did you at any point witness anyone making payments of money to be released while you were detained at the NIA?
For any serial, Mosi Soto, Mensi Kodo Jo NIA, Purisa Bulano, Wato Men Itebe Mutoko NIAJ. Well, some people are called from the place where I was. They go with them to their office. They chat in their office there. If that person doesn't come and give me the information of what transpired, I will not know what has gone on.
After your release from the NIA, were you reinstated as the new president of the Jahale Pacha Rice Project?
For inate murundi onyaton kaya palaso nyintole ka for itilom Jahale Pacha mani sene kafola president. No, it didn't happen at that time. Because what happened when I got out, it was Usman Jammeh who was the permanent secretary at the Agriculture Department. Then I discussed with some of my people after my release. I told them up to now, this thing is not yet clear. Then I informed them that let's write a letter and take it to the permanent secretary so that he can take this letter to the president and inform him that still this matter has not been solved.
The first time you wrote a letter to the president, you were charged for giving false information. And you were locked up in prison. How come you thought about writing another letter? Even after being detained at the NIA for 6 months, without any charges, and previously you were charged for false information for writing a letter.
The
reason why I had the daring mind to write this letter again, because I knew that those who were saying other things were just telling lies, and I believed that what I was saying is the naked truth.
And was the outcome positive this time around?
In fact, that became worse than all what has passed. When I wrote that letter, when the information reached our permanent secretary, this information went up to the level it reached the president himself, Yaya Jammeh. All this, I didn't go home. So that to get things clear, I was in Kombo here. The following morning, I went to Westfield because somebody bought a new motorbike for me.
Oh, Samana.
I brought that motorcycle. Around time like this, I was sitting down. The permanent secretary Usman Jammeh called me. He said to me, Haruna. He asked me, where are you? I said to him, I am here in Kombo at Jabang. He said, since in the morning I was trying to call, I was calling you. He said, the president said, tomorrow morning we go and meet at Brikama Bar. We will return all these materials to you.
Which president was he referring to?
I don't know, President Jumala.
That's Yaya Jammeh Babili Mansa.
And what happened?
Well, the following morning I left early. When I arrived, in the late evening, the Sheriff's Division also arrived. So I was just preparing where those people were supposed to spend the night. After the 7 o'clock prayers, the permanent secretary called me. Usman Jammeh. He said to me, Gassama. He asked me, where are you? I said to him, I'm preparing the place where the Sheriff's Division people should spend the night. And their dinner. He said to me, things have really changed again. I said, again? He said, yes. He said to me that the president said, this handing over, stop. Let it be stopped. Those who wrote this letter, let them be arrested, including you yourself. I said, hey, now it has become another deliberation, another work. And at that time, those who wrote that letter and signed it were Alhaji Usman Sawane at Kanifing. The Imam at Kanifing. And Sekumar Koli Kombo Jabang. He was also an imam. Plus a friend of mine called Ansumana Jite. He also signed this letter. The three of them. And then I called Ustaz Usman Sawane. I called him. I was unable to reach him. I called Sehumar at Kombo Jabang. He was my host and we were acquainted for almost 25 years. I told him the police will call you, but put off your mobile, switch off your mobile. He said, okay. Then on the whole, that the moment I stopped talking to him, they called him. Their call came through. They asked him, where are you? He told them that I am at Jabang, but he didn't know who were calling. What he told me. That's the time they came and arrested him and took him to All Union Police. For Ansumana Jite, he was with me at Brikama Bar in our home. And also for him in the late evening, the police commissioner called him from Bansang. He said to him, I want you to come to the Brikama Bar police station. I have something with me which we should discuss about. When he told me this, I told him to switch off his mobile. I said to him, you will be arrested. At that time, the people from the Sheriff's Division were already there. They were there and they didn't leave. That Ansumana Jite, and he is a stranger in the country here. But he's somebody who is a strong person in the affairs of the country. Because of that, so that if he is arrested, he will suffer. That's the time I told him now.
Na masima kuto bijanne.
I have my new motorcycle here.
Na sate obije kafa ko Europa na sate hormarimba mbarin kundala mjeti.
There is a village called Europa. That place is where my uncles live.
Kasamas la mjeti.
It is in Kasamas.
Nka priyetaji.
Go there.
Who was the police commissioner at Bansang at that time?
Ujamanola, Jumala mun police commissioner at Bansang police station oro.
Utumo police commissioner kutola bijede mate utola mbare ndelawo time wa utumo Ibrahim Cham le bije commissioner police commissioner bare bota jele ndombe kala tambo.
Formerly Ibrahim Cham was the police commissioner there, but when this thing was happening he had already left the place. There was a new police commissioner whom I don't know.
So you were able to warn Ansumana GT and helped him escape to Casamas.
Munde kata kolbe fere ye Ansumana GT ya dandarla ya marefu pura e findia banko bula ita Casamas.
How about yourself?
Ila ita fam kunne wala kodu.
Biratata
when he left
mbama kwenye ko
my mother said to me
kwenye Haruna.
He said to me, Haruna.
Kwenye saibatata.
She said to me, you have suffered.
Kwenye yina muta nanti.
This is the 4th time after they are arresting you.
Kwenye be mutara.
She said to me, they will arrest you again. Don't agree to be arrested for the 5th time. I have forgiven you. Leave this place and follow this stranger to Europa. I said to her, I cannot go. My position today, the leadership, the elderly position I'm having, I have a family here. My children are so young. The person who is ahead of me is in Libya right now. I cannot leave the family here and live. Whatever they are going to do to me, let them do it to me here. But I cannot leave my family and go.
Did they eventually arrest you?
Yes, after my nephews, my mother, and other members of the family intervened, I didn't want to argue with my mother. Then I also decided I went to Europa. I went to Europa, but I didn't stay there long, because if you believe that you are following the truth, you don't have fear. So I went and spent some time there, and I came back again. I was doing my rice farming, and I was also digging a pit latrine in my home. The day I was about to complete the operation of that pit latrine, I saw one NIA operative coming with 4 people from the drug squad, making 5 of them.
Can you recall the name of the NIA operative?
Yes, I know his name. He's called Alaji Nyasi.
Go on.
When they arrived at my position there, the children with me were burying the holes. He said to me, you are under arrest, let's go to the station. I said to them, just the way I am like this. He said, this is how we are going to take you along. I said to them, no. Come with me into the room so that I can change my clothes, but I cannot leave this place like this. I went with them into my room, and I just changed my shirt and I wore a gown and I went out with them.
Where did they take you?
They took me to the Brikama police station. When I arrived there, they put me in a cell. An NIA officer came from Makati called Ture with his vehicle. Then they took me out, and I was made to board that vehicle. But before they took me from my home, it was on a Saturday. And on Saturdays, there are a lot of people who come around there because we usually have a weekly market. The way those NIA people and the drug squad people behaved, the shouts, that was something really puzzling to the people around. But human beings should have faith in Allah. That's how he made me bought that vehicle and took me to Makati. I don't know who were talking to him. But people were calling him continuously, and I kept on hearing him saying to those people, I've arrested him, I have arrested him. He went on repeating that. When I arrived at Makati at the gates of the prison, that day I was really surprised. It looked like somebody who has just effected a coup d'etat on a leader. Because I found from the prisoners and a lot of other people who were there waiting for me. When I alighted from the vehicle, they said, let me go in and go to a confinement cell. They told me, you have to leave your shoes here. Nobody goes into the cell with this kind of shoes. This is the type of shoes I'm wearing called Marrakesh shoes. They said they don't allow people to go in the prison with those type of shoes. The sun was very, very hot at that time, but they said I have to take it off and walk barefooted and go into the cell.
Prior to them taking you to Makati prisons, did they charge you with any offense? When they arrived at my home, when they told me that we have been instructed to come and arrest you and take you to Makati, they asked me, where is your rider? I asked them, which rider? They said, the new rider you were having here. I said to them, it is my property and it belongs to nobody. They told me, no, bring it, we have to take it along. I told them, I've just sent somebody with the rider. When that person came, they seized the rider from that person. It was a brand new motorbike, something that I've just bought. I, in fact, never rode it myself. That's how they took the rider. Yes. When we arrived at Makati, I was taken into a confinement cell. I was unable to come out of that place. They brought this 20-liter drum. They cut the top part. They told me, this is what we are going to have here with you. However you want to ease yourself, going to toilet or just urinating, this is the thing we are going to use. I said to them, what about if I want to perform ablution to pray? By the time you are doing that, you have time to do it. Bare concrete. The length of the bed was so small. Look at me, as a tall man as I am. If I lie down, my legs keep on dangling. There is no mosquito netting there. The place was so dark. If I am talking to this imam, this is also the man I was jailed with. There is a ladder which we used to climb up. That's the ladder I used to climb if I want to talk to this other person. Sorry, what was the name of the imam that you're pointing at?
Imam Haruna Gassama.
Is Imam Haruna Gassama.
Do you know what he was in there for?
Well, I don't have all the information, but there are some information that I suspect. Why?
I don't in program
because in this program,
if an amutonya for that letter calling Hana man can tell you
I know that he is somebody who speaks the truth. He's a truthful person, and mostly, in many cases, if you see imams, there are people who always speak the truth.
Was he also in the solitary confinement wing?
Solitary confinement wing.
Yes, he was there, but he didn't stay long there. They removed him from there and took him to light detention. When he was taken away, they didn't prepare any document for him. Well, the NIA told them was that, keep this man for us here. When we need him, we will come for him. He was there up to 15 months. That's the man sitting down here. Plus Alhaji Usman Sawane. Plus Sehu Umar Kuli.
How long did Alhaji Usman Sawane, how long was he detained at the Makati prisons?
Alhaji Usman Sawane, what did you see ke Morocco no kaso kono je?
Alhaji Usman Sawane spent 15 months there.
What of Sheikh Omar Koli?
Sheikh Omar Koli also spent the same duration of time there.
And how long did you remain in the solitary confinement?
Solitary confinement
I spent a long time there. I was there for 40 days. I was there. Till David Colley came there, they didn't bring him to the area I was. I had them talking, and when my lunch was brought, they were giving my lunch to me through the window. They were still talking about it.
Are you saying that they usually bring down your lunch through the window into the cell you were locked up in?
Yes, yes. In most of the cases, when they bring the pap. And usually, where my pap used to, sometimes to be wasted on the floor, I had to wash that area to clean it. So that when they are giving it to me, if part of it falls down, I will gather it together, put it in a cup so that I can drink it. Because the place was concrete, it was a concrete floor. Nobody comes there, I don't see anybody. Unless if I call up somebody and ask him to bring a Quran for me. That's the person who was around me there.
He mentioned a name, is it Benghazi?
Benghazi, he is the person I called as Benghazi. I asked him to bring a Quran for me. He brought me a Quran. Until when Korta came there. And at that time he was referred to as CSP Korta. He asked them, who is here? Because how I was kept there, some people thought that I committed a crime which nobody has ever committed. He asked them to open the door. When Korta opened the door, until they opened the last door to my cell, he told me to come out. He said to me, Moro. He asked me my name. I told him my name is Haruna Gassama. He asked me what has happened. I narrated everything to him. That day, Korta felt very unhappy. Korta is a very good person in the prison system. I thank him and I hail him really. When I was there in that prison, because Korta himself was aware of this, sometimes I break my fast with groundnuts. This is how he took me out. He took me to the place where this imam was. That's where I stayed.
For how long did you remain in detention at the Janjanbureh prisons?
I spent 14 months there.
During that 14 months that you were there, were you ever charged before court?
Nothing
was, I was not given any information.
Did your family have access to you during the time you were there?
Nobody ever saw me there.
Who would you say was responsible for your detention at the Janjanbureh prisons?
At that time, the person I pointed at, because the NIA said the order comes from the top. And I know any reason for it.
What was the impact of your multiple arrests and detention on you and your family?
Those hardships were extremely overwhelming for me. Because first of all myself, it has deteriorated my health. The houses in my compound all fell down. It was the village people who used to come to help and build my houses. When I came to in fact, there came a time even my relatives ran away from me, except for my niece called Ramatullah Sisi. She was in charge of everything that concerns me in that compound. Nobody comes to them, nobody visits them, nobody enters that compound. She was there with my mother, who was very, very old. In fact, it caused hypertension for her, which really gave her a serious problem health-wise. Because my elder brother has traveled, his children were under me, and my own children were there, and there were other children, orphaned children, who were with me, but many of their education retarded. In fact, some of them had to leave school because nobody was taking care of them. And as for me, I had a lot of ruminants. And the whole of Fuladu knows about that. The destruction, the losses that this thing has brought for me, the amount of sheep that I lost when I was arrested, when I was incarcerated, is more than 20 sheep. Goats, I can say the same amount. My bulls got lost during that time. Maybe about 6 bulls were lost. Because of the poor state of my compound, we had to sell one of our plots of land because they don't know when I will return. Nobody comes to them to give them anything for sustenance. With these NIA people, if they leave me, if I am coming to people, I sometimes realize that the people I want to meet, in fact, sometimes they make themselves so busy that they will not have time for me. In fact, what I realized was that they were trying to run away from me. They don't want to meet me.
Ani ngamu kole number sapa nyakana kole na number dota wala modul kan kole na official number ani ya hala hajur fanya yebandi ya kati ko man la pro ni communiquer karon ko momo ni de carte na nyola dron o mari bla problem ko karam sa kunda nya bentakan.
In fact, if I talk to some people on the phone, they will always tell me, don't call me with this number again, use another number. Because if I talk to people, what they usually tell me is that anybody who gets near you will always have a problem. Whenever I remember these troubles, the problem these things brought for me, I don't sleep for the whole of the night. But I know that I am on the path of the truth, and I know that truth will always triumph. This is how things remained.
Can you tell us what eventually led to your release?
How
all these things ended, I will say thanks to the luck I have, the good luck I have. Apart from Allah and the Prophet, it is the coalition government. When the change took place, this new government released me. They took us all the way to Banjul. Inspector General. They took us to the office of the Inspector General of Police. Yankuba Sonko. When we arrived there, it was late, so I had to spend the night with the Imam till the following morning. In the morning, when we met, he appealed for us to forgive, because what has happened to us is so bad that he has to beg for forgiveness from us so that we can forgive them. This is what we discussed there, and afterwards we dispersed. So I am extending my sincerest thanks to the coalition government and the people who were instrumental in the change. My thanks goes to them too.
And after your release, did you take up your rightful position as the president of the Jahali Pachar Rice? For inanela makamo nyin Taliban kage Jahali Pachar senelalo kafubanyi na nyaronkori.
When I was released, I went to my lawyer. And OJ Jallo, agriculture minister, because he was the agriculture minister. Permanent secretary He said at that point they will call the permanent secretary so that they will call these people to hand over everything to me. My lawyer said no, let them use the Sheriff Division way so that things will be done justly. Then my lawyers prepared the Sheriff's Division and they came to the provinces. So when they came, nobody refused. Things were done accordingly. The old President Alhaji Musa Jimbo Trawale, in fact, we spent the whole day with him, packing all those things and taking them to where they are supposed to be taken to. Plus ala Vice President Todo.
Maimuna Sisi.
It is Vice President Maimuna Sisi. He packed everything that they should hand over. But the things, among the things they handed over, there were tractors, but these things were already spoiled. They were just parked at one place. They were not running. And a rice milling machine plus the stores.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gassama.
Mr. Gassama.
Thank you for answering all of my questions. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put in the judgment of the High Court. That is the case between the Rice Farmers Cooperative Society Limited
and
Alaji Musa Tarawale and others. That was the judgment he obtained in his favor.
And
that will be Exhibit 166.
Exhibit 166.
Thank you, Council. Request granted.
Council lawyer
and thank you very much, Mr. Haruna Gassama, for your testimony.
Mr. Gassama
Yet again, we are sorry that you had to endure so much. There is one gap for me. I don't know if you can help me just fill it out. Maybe I should ask it in Mandinka.
My question, what is under my question?
Is Lafita Lunale, Janto, Ya Jamme Taratane Miro Kolonyame.
I want to know how we were thinking about Yaya Jamme.
Te Batamin Beke, Hanifo Yemuta, Samba Janjambure Kasola.
All the sufferings you encountered, they arrested you and took you to the prison at Janjambure.
Atenata Lamansaya Sembo use Maki Ibondi Jeta meeting tabu meeting mentoje.
Then he used his executive powers to bring you out of jail, and you went and met him at a meeting. You said two things. The first thing was clear to me. You thanked him for taking you out of jail.
Exactly.
The second thing you said was you prayed to Allah for. What did you pray to Allah for? For Allah to do for Yaya Jammeh? The second thing is
Kabring executive order
when the second executive order came and you were arrested again,
for woketa wat men kato council in karoke umuku kendoleti ko hani umuku jawalti sembo membabul ayotambindile.
When the council asked you whether that is justice, you said no, that's injustice because it was an abuse of power.
Imafule ka for kabiri ila reaction keta menti woto ya dankale unane ma danka.
The reaction there was, why didn't you curse the man for what he did to you?
You do work in Karadola for Alayake Kudi, Alekukai, saying in Dofan and not like a melanco opposite Lomote, Coman Kukendote, Bari Imam Fembenefort.
When he took you out of jail, you prayed for him. But when he gave another decree or another executive order for you to be arrested, you didn't curse him. Why?
duanin danko le mun lafta wala lonna na mentality to ya jemla kuolto.
It is for somebody, the prayers and the cause in our way of thinking. That's what I'm thinking about.
Thank you very much, he said. I've heard what you said.
Yaya's action to take me out of jail. The reason I was happy about him, what caused that? I saw that those who arrested me, and they didn't arrest me because of the truth. They arrested me on lies and power, and they incarcerated me. And I was in a hurry to come out and fight so that justice will prevail. So sitting in that way, in that position, and I now see that Yaya said, let me be taken out of jail. The bad deed that the same person did again, I didn't look at that. Those people who are behind me, those following the truth or justice, we were all in a hurry, myself and all those people were in a hurry to come out and fight injustice for justice to prevail. This is why I thanked him and hailed him. But his bad deeds were known to everybody. Because how things were going, dilly-dallying, that didn't create any emotion for me. But the reason is for justice to prevail. That's what I was in a hurry to be able to fight injustice. This is why I hailed him and I thanked him. But why the other executive order which made them arrest me again?
I cannot continue. But ye dua fo abri ye dua ke wati mo wala lafta don exactly ye kuma kam mo ye alal dani alama nyin kele ay yemune photo.
You prayed for him, you hailed him when they released you from jail. The exact words I want is, what did you say? I said to Usman Sonko. So far Yaya said he released me because of his powers. I said to him, I informed him that I said thank you. The power he used to release me, may Allah increase that power. This is what I said. The power he used to release me, may Allah increase that power. Because I know he didn't use justice. He used power, his power. This is why I said, may Allah increase that power. Because I know whatever suffering I encountered was caused by Yaya Jammeh. And my cause was what first took place before I prayed for him. Because what happened previously, I caused him before my release, because I was arrested before he released me from jail.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, if you have any questions, Commissioner Kinte, you have the floor.
Commissioner Kinte, la fana bile nyini kala. Sedo.
Assalamu alaikum. Haruna mbehake dan la ibadata banko la tambundir molo bulu meni nyante makola ke tanka.
Haruna, thank you. We are sorry you suffered from people who are even supposed to protect you, people who are agents of the government.
Allah bengo mengi kapo AGM, General Assembly.
Allah, the meeting that you call the AGM, your annual general meeting.
Ka executive falindame.
That's the venue where you usually change the executive.
Executive
is it that your executive are the people responsible for calling the meeting? No, the meeting is usually called by the farmers. Yes, I know, because they are also farmers. The meeting should be called by the executive members. But they didn't call for the meeting.
Ali pensoto membe itendire ngalaw buko bala kitabo bala ko ni executive make for wato la tambole kamam bang waran kuruya dukundu mabole mu dukundo silo be jele ba menyanta tinna modol yake.
Is there anything in that book which will show that if the executive didn't call the meeting, are there other people who can call for the meeting, or was it they were trying to hide some things which were normal, which were things which were wrongdoings?
No, what I said is, did they have anything stipulated in their constitution that indicates that in the event that the executive fails to summon meeting, either because they have overstayed and don't want to leave, or they have something hidden, a dubious thing that they wouldn't want to be uncovered, whether there are any provisions in their constitution that mandate, and how does it mandate some other people to summon meeting?
ni ayatare committee ni atali basol tare kal ko meeting ke
the association, if the farmers should call for a meeting and if they refuse,
ni manson
if they refuse,
atali fana sembo so ale meeting command,
you also have power to call for a meeting.
But ni son da don beton albe tara jira le ko kacha
but if they agree, you should go and join them and sit and discuss with them.
Nyin silo to balantale altole Allah sembo ta le ben command.
This is that at that time they refused. Did you take power? We went to them and said, it has been a long time and no meeting took place.
Okay.
And they called for the meeting.
La fulanya ko ayemu fula tombong albota holo kono altata classroom moto.
Yeah, the other part is that you said you selected 2 people from the village. You left the hall and went into a classroom. Yes.
Ale modol to hall kono.
You left some people in the hall. Yes.
But altata classroom kono ale katro fa wallet oba. Wara ale tombondiro ka wallet.
When you went into that classroom, is that the venue where you selected or you voted?
O fanam binala luabe nyomo irine ko dulawo dula mo fulale be tombonna wala be mo committee nying tombonna fundum aliyo ke wolunne katu wala sone atale.
Is that conversant with your constitution, or was it just that you decided to do that on the spot? Well, it's something conversant with our rules. That every village should be, every village you select 2 people there, and these people will come together and select a committee.
And the meeting of Fana coming to Babol Kapo me quorum, coming keme hapunangam, where you sort of follow, meeting on Namananke, alla meeting of Fanantim Mandela.
And your meeting, did it have a quorum to go along with the meeting, or to go ahead with the meeting? Just like your meeting was done accordingly and you have fulfilled all the rules. After the selection, these people refused to hand over to you. This is what caused all these problems that you encountered with your people.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. There are no further questions. I mean, if you have any final remarks to make, Mr. Gassama, please proceed to make them now.
Very evening, Mr. Gassama. Sir, you have been a My sincerest thanks and hails to the Commission. Thanks to Mr. Sise and all his people. I'm very happy about my coming here today. Because we never thought that a day like this will come. When I was called yesterday, I was sick and in fact I was at the hospital. But I decided, I tried by all means to make sure that I come here today. Because all what was in my mind, if I didn't reveal it to the nation, no one will hear what has happened. What you've done here today, the happiness I got from this is overwhelming. And what is being said in the country now has become clear. The whole country is praying for you people. Personally, I became very happy about this. For people to hear me. To sit in front of you people, you elders, you honored people, to reveal everything that has happened and whatever is in mind is something that really made me glad. My elders also, who also were involved with this in this problem with me. Somebody like my father, Imam Haruna Gassama. Alhaji Usman Sawane, I know he is not present, but he might be looking at me. My thanks to him too. Thanks to Sehomar Koli, he is in Jabang and I'm sure he is watching. He is not quite well these days. But these elderly people, they suffered greatly in the jail. An elderly respected person in our country here and in our region, somebody like Haruna Gassama, to just arrest that man like that, just based on nothing else, that's very bad. So if we are able to get the chance to come and sit down here and narrate what happened, that's something very, which really has made us happy. Alhaji Usman Sawane. My thanks and all my thanks to him. The things they tried in the jail, they were able to train people there on the path of Islam. That has been very big. We were not doing anything there, just to read the Quran and follow the path of Islam. The things they did, what they tried for the younger ones inside the jail, is very big, is very much, is too much. Alhaji Usman was there, and his daughter, in fact, passed away in his absence. And that daughter was somebody he really loves. Well, this is what Allah destined. But where he was, people who brought him there just used power on him. So very bad things like that, if those things were existing in a country, if we come to the end of those wicked and evil things, and we should happen to have people who are sitting down and who happen to be people who are following the truth, seeking truth, to establish truth, it's only Allah who will reward you. In all areas of the country, those who don't have TV, they have radios, they listen to you day and night. The good things you are doing, it is only Allah who will protect you, not mere human beings.
And
we are praying, this truth-seeking venture you are doing or following, we will continue to pray for you, for Allah to empower you people in the job you are doing. We are praying to Allah to protect you people and to guide you people so that you can continue this good job. Because of the good job you are doing. This is something which should be a lesson for the whole country. For the citizens who are listening and watching us, we should all change. We should change our attitudes. That's the whole country. What happened here shouldn't be allowed to occur again in this country. The country of the Gambia is too small. This TRRC is something that we never thought will happen. We never heard of it. We never knew about it. And may Allah help us for this to be the last for these things to happen in this country. In the country, in the Gambia. The bad ones should know that. The TRRC which is present here, and this is what will remain here, to protect the citizens and to make sure that people get justice. Bad people are never good people. Good people are always good people. Let's all try. Whatever is happening in the country which are hypocrisy and these other vice, the wickedness that's happening to people should have an end now. If we cannot put an end to it, may Allah help us to put an end to it. And by the grace of Allah, it will be ended one day. What I want to tell Sise, now I will say this with Sise. Now Sise is here and look at me. I want to ask him just one thing. If he cannot answer this, maybe there will be somebody else who will be able to answer. If nobody can answer it, then you can return this question back to me and I will give my answer. They said anything that grows, anything that is big, where do they all start from? They all start from when they were small and grow up. Then they later grow up to become big. Even a tree. If you hear, hey, this tree is not good. Remember that it was a small tree which grew up to a point where people pointed to this tree and said, well, this tree is not good. It is the people which made it bad. Even an elderly person, his elderliness and respect doesn't reach the level until when it's totally grown up. They will say, don't touch this person, he's an untouchable. Whatever grows up to a level and becomes a child again, I want to ask Sise.
Malum fondesi tela ñinen garo ñin jaabi no kasama gunnango dal ka kutindule la min deliye.
I don't know whether I can answer your question because you Kasama people, you always set a trap for us.
Me kutindew ñimba jugera fonsa lampe no.
I will look for a way how to bypass this trap.
Bari Chinese ole kuma kangdo seto.
But the Chinese has a saying.
You don't
know the height of a tree until when it falls down. That's the time you can measure it and know the real length. What happened in this country for 22 years? That tree fell down, and that's the tree we are measuring now, so that there will not be a recurrence of those things.
This
is the proverb I can give you. But I will return you if you go and learn about law. What they say, the exchange between us now, you cannot ask somebody something, a question which you personally don't have an answer for. If the lawyers here ask a question, they know what they are asking and they know the answer. And you giving the answer also, when you answer, they will know. That's what they first learned. Now I'll come back to you. The question you asked, so that you yourself can give us the version of your answer. Yes, you people have been our teachers from old days. The truth. The truth. It starts from when it was small. Then it grows up and becomes great. Lies are always big, but finally it calms down. This is what happens. This is the lies are always big, but later on truth always triumphs. Truth starts from a small level, but it always grows to become big. That's what I have to say. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's a fantastic answer. Thank you so much for educating all of us on this point. This brings us to the end of our proceedings for today. And we will resume our work tomorrow morning, sharp 10 o'clock. Thank you all very much, and meeting is adjourned.
Sexual violence is a global phenomenon. The World Health Organization estimates that 35% of women have experienced sexual violence. In fact, the WHO calls the issue rampant.
But sometimes he would take his fingers and put it in my private bag.
My foster mother, son sexually abused me at 9.
When I drank the water he gave me, I became lost and helpless. He did what he wanted.
He had sex with me and took my virginity. And then one thing led to another. He raped me.
And so now we start to break the silence. We begin to tell our stories, as slow and as painful and as anonymous as they are.